nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and they shall kill you.
After leaving Cairo, the scenery soon changes into arid desert.
And you should be hated of all nations.
Someone asked me, it was a long way
We were heading towards the Sinai Peninsula to investigate another amazing biblical find.
The highway east approximately retraces the Exodus route, except that driving under the Suez Canal is quite different from when the Israelites came this way 3,500 years ago. The Bible refers to this desert as the wilderness of the Red Sea. Very little grows in this arid region. Examining all the clues given in the Bible shows that the Israelites crossed this wilderness before coming to the Red Sea, as Marty Plott explains.
We are sharing what you will see here tonight. Now, I'd like Marty Plott to come out, our geologist, and he'll talk to you for just a little bit. You'll appreciate it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Like this. At this point, they turned south and entered these heavy mountains right in here, following this wadi, and they terminated right here at the Nuweiba beach.
The southern part of the peninsula is a region of very rugged mountains. A canyon named Wadi Watur snakes its way through these mountains and ultimately terminates at the Red Sea. This fits perfectly with the biblical description of the Exodus route. The twisting canyon leading to Nuweiba can be easily seen from this satellite photograph. It's not hard to see how the Pharaoh would describe the Israelites as being shut in and entangled in the land as they made their way down to the sea along this canyon. Finally, after a seemingly endless number of twists and turns, the canyon opens out at the Red Sea. Here is the very large beachhead area beside the Red Sea, called Nuweiba. This portion of the Red Sea is known as the Gulf of Aqaba. Across the water from Nuweiba is Saudi Arabia. With the water parted, it would be a walk of about 8 miles. Ron Wyatt identified the southern end of Nuweiba as the likely place where the crossing began. At this point, the mountains came down to the sea, leaving the Israelites no retreat from the pursuing chariots. At the north end of Nuweiba is an ancient fortress, which could be Pihahiroth of the Exodus account. Today this fortress is little more than an empty shell, but in the past it would have held a large contingent of soldiers, preventing the Israelites' escape to the north.
Ron Wyatt first came to Nuweiba in the late 1970s to search for chariot remains on the seabed, the final proof that Nuweiba was indeed the crossing site. We were here to do some diving, and as with many places around the Red Sea, dive gear is available for hire. And it was here that we met up with some friends from Norway. They were joining us on our dives to also look for underwater evidence of the Exodus account. Near the south end of Nuweiba is a large settlement beside the port. One of the local Bedouins owns a small boat, which we arranged to use.
Good morning.
Touch.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
See you at 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock?
Yeah.
How many died for the only one?
1 or 2.
1 or 2. Maybe 1 or 2.
We'll see if you're busy.
Yeah.
Or,
Maybe 10 minutes he go to 12 they come.
Nuweiba is large enough to accommodate millions of people with their flocks and herds. And equally important, the opposite shore also has a beach area large enough to accommodate all the Israelites.
In other words, this is Todd, Mark, Jim, Aaron and Keith, Ross. We're out here to dive.
Certainly, all the features necessary to match the biblical account are present here. It's the ideal place for God to have demonstrated his mighty power and opened the water for his people.
Moses, 3,000 years ago.
The Bible states that when Pharaoh pursued after the Israelites, He took with him his horsemen, his army, and all the horses and chariots of Egypt. Josephus states that there were about 250,000 soldiers in this army which pursued the Israelites. And Psalm 106 records that not one of them survived when the water came crashing back in. For Egypt, it meant national ruin. For the children of Israel, it was a day of salvation. What evidence still remains on the seabed after 3,500 years? Coral has been the agent which has preserved the physical evidence of this amazing Bible story. The Gulf of Aqaba is clear and warm, very suited to the growth of coral. Hence, the artifacts found are in exactly the condition one would expect to find them in, considering the length of time they have been in the water. Another amazing piece of evidence is this column, which is a type that dates to Phoenician times. When Ron Wyatt first came to search for the crossing site, he found this column lying in the sea, with one side quite eroded. The Israeli authorities subsequently moved it to where it now stands, set upright in concrete. When Ron first found the column, it was at the extreme southern end of the beach, where the mountains come down to the water, at this location here. Some years later, when Ron was on the opposite shore in Saudi Arabia, a similar column was found. The Saudi authorities removed it and replaced it with this survey marker. The inscription on the column was intact, and in ancient Hebrew stated that it was a memorial to the miracle of the Red Sea crossing, erected by King Solomon.
Security in the region is very tight, and after one of our dives we came under the scrutiny of this Egyptian Security Forces helicopter. powerful reminder of the times we live in.